Okay, today we are going to be graphing ratio relationships. And all this means is we're going to take ratios and end up making a line graph out of them by plotting points. So you can see here that the ratio or the relationship, we are comparing the number of minutes it takes to, I'm assuming, typing a certain number of words. So this can be written as a ratio or fractions, but the easiest way to do this is to take the table and simply plot the points. So I'm going to write the table a little bit differently. The first part, otherwise known as our time in minutes, can be thought of as our x-axis point, and then our number of words can be thought of as our y-axis point. So you can see here that it says that the time is our x-axis. So down here you can see time or in minutes, and that's going to be our x-coordinate or our x-axis. And then you can see the next one is that we have number of words, which you can see right here on our y-axis. So we're going to take these points and basically plot them. So the first one we have is 1 to 50. So we find our x-coordinate, which is 1 under time, and 1 over and 50 up. So there's our first point, 1 comma 50. And the next one you can see reads 2 to 100. So 2 to 100. So that means in 2 minutes time you will type 100 words. And the last one, you can see that it's 3 minutes gives you 150 words. So 3 minutes gives you 150 words. So 3 over and 150 up. And you should notice that the moment you get these dots placed, or their coordinates, that it ends up creating a line. So we connect these three, and this could go on essentially forever, but of course it would stop right here, because if you spent 0 minutes, you would be able to type 0 words. So that is the ratio relationship using the graph. On into the next one. And the last one that we're going to have time for is this time you're also asked to represent the relationship or the ratio relationship using the graph. So we're still going to have to graph it, but this time there's no table. Well, that's not difficult because we can make our own table. So here's our table that we started, and this highlighted box always has to do with the x-axis part of the coordinates. So the x-axis are cashews in pounds. So I'm going to write the word pounds here on my table. And then the next part, this green highlighted area, that is going to be our y coordinates. And the y coordinates are always found on the y-axis, and that is the cost in dollars. So I will simply write the word dollars. And then we're going to fill this out. So the information to gather this or to figure this out is in the very first sentence. You buy dark chocolate cashews for $15 per pound. That means for every 1 pound that you purchase, because per pound there is just the 1 pound. So for 1 pound, you end up getting, or spending, I should say, $15. So that very first one is simple. 1 pound, $15. So we can easily plot that. So 1 pound, so 1 over on the cashews and pounds on the x-axis. Remember, this is called the x-axis, and it's $15. So 1 and 15 goes right there. That's the first point. Then we can jump down and say, okay, let's say we bought 2 pounds. Well, if 1 pound is $15, that means 2 pounds is going to be $30. How did I do that? Well, every pound is 15. So all you have to do is take the number of pounds you're buying, right, and multiply it by 15. How do I know this? Well, how do you go from 1 to 15? That's a multiplication of 15. How do you go from 2 to 30? That's, again, multiplication of 15. So just to prove it on the calculator, so I would take my 2 and multiply by $15, and I would have to spend 30 on the 2 pounds of dark chocolate cashews. So now I have to plot this one. 2 pounds costs $30. There's that one. And let's plot one more. let's plot 3. Well, 3 times 15 is 45. So 3 and 45. There's the last one. Okay, and then of course you can connect these dots and you'll see your linear graph because it creates a straight line. And now all we have to do is part B. How much does 2.5 pounds cost? Well, that's where it presents a problem. We never plotted 2.5 pounds, but we can easily think about it by doing 2.5. But remember, the trick is to always multiply by 15. So we're going to take our calculator and do 2.5 pounds, and we're going to multiply that by 15 bucks. And we get $37.50. $37.50. So we can check that over here on our graph. 2.5. Here's 2.5 right here. And then we got to go up until we cross right there. That's where that line crosses the 2.5 part of the x coordinate, right? So where is that? Well, that's in between 40 and 35. Well, what's immediately in between, or what's in between 40 and 35? That's $37.50. So 2.5 pounds in that box right there is $37.50.